Shouts out Big Steve.
Shout out Mikey B. Mikey B Spin. What a guy. What a guy. Alrighty. Early tease for next week's UFC right away. Right, I made some money. So let's get straight into it. I'm feeling good. Not really. Actually, I woke up 7 a.m. in the morning, so I'm kind of cooked, but it is what it is. Let's get out of the way today so I don't have to worry about it tomorrow. Let me adjust this. Did we make some money? Yes, we did. Let's go over the recap, and then we'll look at the early odds for UFC Vegas 105 back at the Apex. No more hometown guys. No more juicy steam on the UK fighters right before the fight, on Mexican fighters right before the fight. So, yeah. Last week, LFA Brazil and this card and Ryzen, I didn't touch either one of those. There was some easy under 1.5s in LFA Brazil. I regret it. I regret the Herbert Sosa under 1.5 at minus 200. He hit it in less than a minute. Guillotine. But what are you going to do? You know, when you play these unders on Brazilian LFA, they look fixed and they go over. And then when you pass on them, they look massive value. But anyway, on the UFC, Medeiros Hubbard, complete pass, absolute shit show of a fight. Emmers, I mentioned I like the KO. I ended up playing the under 1.5. I like that a little bit better than the minus 200. 2.5, I just thought it correlates. It's probably going to happen in the first 2 rounds. Whether it was a submission or a KO, so that worked out after a little bit of issues around the gassed ASAP. So half a unit there to win 300 and something. Rafa Garcia, Pichel. I thought Pichel will have value. I passed. Passed on Palastri. I was really close to playing her, but she's just couldn't get over the fact how stupid she is. And the fact that Lupita Godinez, she's very athletic. And if you're more athletic than her, you could get by. But, you know, Palastri isn't. So nothing there. Costa, this is one of the ones that got away. I couldn't really get a read on this fight. I should have just put half a unit on Costa because, I mean, you know, I'm not really a C-Rod fan up at featherweight, especially against a striker. And I had my phone up and I was about to live bet Costa $2.75 plus 175 when they were up against the clinch for 4 minutes. And I'm like, this is a pick and fight. C-Rod can't get him down. On the feet, probably competitive. And I got to the confirmation stage and the lady's like, 250, would you confirm? And I just shat my pants and I cancelled. And then Costa got taken down. I was like, that's a good decision. But then I think he won the round 1 anyway. So, yeah, that one got away. I could have betted at Pick'em, but I thought Pick'em was accurate. And then he hurt C-Rod and ended up being a decent play. But, yeah, that live bet, that was a real big error on my end. Then Gautier, I played the under 1.5. I said he was probably going to kill this guy. Another half unit to win 300 and something. So we're 600 and something up, you know, from no pre-bets, just action bets. We get to Kevin Borjas, and he's plus 170, $2.70. I was like, man, the lazy boy is so bad. I have to play this. So I play half a unit just because I thought, you know, he might be a little bit fragile, Borjas, and I know that lazy boy is going to keep on coming. I play half a unit to win 400. He drops him twice, and I'm like, man, this guy has an iron chin. And then he's still $2.50. He's an underdog. I'm like, I don't want to add more. Obviously, people keep on piling on lazy boy. And then in round 2, when he doesn't really hurt him, he doesn't drop him, but he's dialed in. He's not doing anything stupid. He's not allowing lazy boy to land like a spinning wheel kick or to get him down easily. And I'm like, man, this is trending towards a 30-27. So I put another half unit, 250 to win 180. So all up, it ended up being a 30-27. I think that was one of the better cards on the card for big plus money. That it ended up being a whole unit to win almost $600. So I'm up 1,200. You know, this is one of the better cards in a while. David Martinez Oliveira, the under there was good value. I decided to pass. You know, I thought Oliveira was relatively durable. Guess not, quite washed. $200 on Rosa sub. You know, as I mentioned on the pod, I don't like the way Vince Morales gives up his back, but he's very good at surviving it. But I thought eventually, you know, someone like Raul Rosas Jr., he's very good at getting a rear naked choke, even if he's over the chin, even if he's on the side. Incredible squeeze for a 20-year-old, right? And yeah, about 15 minutes of back control, and he could not get that second hook. And unfortunately, Rosas never threatened the chin. If he actually went across the chin with only one hook in, Vince would have respected that. He would have, especially when you go for the legs. I get submitted in training all the time. I go to defend the legs, make sure the second hook doesn't go in. They switch to my neck, and then I'm like, oh shit, I got to defend the arms. And then they go get the second hook in, and it's like, it's a chess game. But, yeah, something to learn for Raul Rosas. Chairez, I didn't even take the fight. I mean, as I said, submission always. That's one that got away. And then this fight right here, I said I was going to play Dober KO, and I said I was going to play the under as a hedge. I pussied out, and I ended up playing Dober most significant strikes, same game parlay on Bet Online, and for him to win inside the distance, it was basically better than his KO. And then I just played like peanuts on the under because it was $1.56. I was going to put a full unit on it. I thought everyone was overthinking it. And then it got under minus 200 by like a few cents, and I passed. I put $150 on just to cover myself if Torres kills him, and he did. So I lost like $25 there, pretty much break even. And then main event, I thought there is no way Steve Erceg should be this much of an underdog to anyone. You know, he already fought Pantoja, close fight. I thought Moreno was going to be a close fight. And I put half a unit, $3.20. And halfway through the round one, I'm like, yeah, I regret this. This is a donation. You know, I was 1,200 up, and now I'm going to be 700 and something. You know, I lost a whole unit on bloody Rosas and Erceg donation. And then luckily, after what ended up being Steve Erceg's only winning round, I think it was round 3, Moreno went up to minus 200, and I put $500 on him live to win 250, break even. Actually, I won $13 because Moreno won. So I got out of that bet, and I ended up on 997. Let's just call it $1,000, 2 units. And yeah, we're Gucci. So if it's your first time listening, if you haven't been following, I've been doing this for 7 years, and not once in 7 years have I lost in January or in February. And I've done it this year. I was $3,500 down halfway through February, mainly because I had a big losing January. I was a bit stressed. I had a wedding, and then February I just took off because I had a wedding, had family over. So yeah, luckily all it took was 1 month in March, and now I'm in profit by just under $500, 1 unit. So usually I have a really bad December or August, September, October. So what I'm going to do is, because I already had a losing January and February, I'm going to try and avoid that slump and try to still have a really, really good year. Minimum 30,000, maybe even up my units. You know, I said I was going to up my units if I made 3.6 units today, and I made 2, but it was very close to 3. If Rosa's submission hit, that would have been 3 point something. So we could have been there. Could have been there. We'll see. Hopefully, big April, and then 1,000 units. Here we come. Alrighty, let's see what we got. Any comments? Litz, need your opinion on Fat Budai BigSteve. I think he's high rolling bum personally. He is a high rolling bum. I bet Gaziev against him had massive CLV, and he just showed him who's daddy in that one. But this is a different fight. We're talking about Kennedy and Chukwu here, so we'll tune in. We'll see. So what do we have? I know we've got some regionals this week. So before I get on to the UFC, so we have PFL, right? And PFL, we got some odds. Let's start here, shall we? We'll quickly go through, the early teas on these regionals, and then we'll get into it. What do we got? Sarek Shields, Joseph Luciano. Luciano's a massive favorite. It's going to be a grappling fight. Not too sure about that one. Tajin versus Magomed Bekmau, whatever, who gives a fuck. It's a short notice fight, but I think Makhmed is a bit flaky for a Russian guy. Let me open up the odds on Fight Odds, so I'm not relying on Bet365. Let's see what we got. I'm actually excited about PFL. It's been a while. They always wait till about April. Shields, probably dog or pass. And then what else we got? The fuck, don't even have odds here. Where's Tajin? Minus 200. Yeah. Chalky. You probably should knock him out. What else? Frederick Dupas, Nathan Garib. I don't know who these guys are. Moving on. Kim versus Nathan Kelly. Who the hell is Kim? He's 10-1. Let me have a look. Who the hell is Kim, lads? Wait a minute. Oh, right. He beat Carlos John Thomas, right? I've tapped this guy before. Surely I didn't take him for Brave. I barely bet on Brave. I have. That's right. I tapped this fight, Roman Bagatov. He's a decent sized favorite against Nathan Kelly. That's interesting. Minus 200. How did Kelly go in his last one? He won, right? No, he lost to Ahmed Magomedov. I don't want to say dog or pass. It's early days, but I'm not playing this Kim at minus 200. That's for sure. Bachar versus Kukuri. But I think these are 2 chinny guys, right? Kukuri, this guy was in Bellator. Let me have a look. Correct. He's got power, and he's a little bit chinny himself. And Bachara is too. He's a kickboxer, way too chinny. Got knocked out in 20 seconds in Ultimate Fighter. What are these odds? Maybe pick 'em-ish? Let me have a look. Johnny Bashar. Kikuri is slight favorite. Maybe there's some value there. It depends on who has the better chin. Maybe there's some value, but I'm interested in these fights. All right, Gabriel Braga, Yves Landu. Braga, massive favorite. Not interested. He's a good fighter, but he's still old mate Landu. He's got a split decision over Kobayashi and a split decision over Jonas Bellarino, who's a very good striker, actually. So, man, dog pass for sure. Braga, $1.20. Won't be catching me laying that. Jeremy Kennedy misses Mavid Kabalaev. Kabalaev's back. He's been injured. He missed a couple of seasons. This should be a smash spot. Mov lead, usually a decision machine. This could be actually a cheeky little KO play for Mov lead. We'll see. Umalato Stoli. High-level fight, man. High-level grappling fight. Let me have a look. A little wiki cap. Wiki cap. Umalatov. He looked really bad against Gracie. He looked bad against Shamil. Yeah, Umalatov is definitely not the same guy. You see in a lot of these PFLs, from season to season, fighters look different. Sometimes they look washed, sometimes they look good, and they end up trending like that throughout the whole season. So, I guess maybe we could use this first episode to see how how fighters are looking, and then you kind of, Umalatov in his first season looked way better than his second one. Like the first season, Umalatov would have ran through naming Gracie, would have destroyed him, and probably Andrei Koreshko as well. But anyway, what are the odds for that? What are the odds? Umalatov, wow, massive favorite. Logan Stoli has to have some value, man. Maybe slight. It's tough to back a guy with not much striking, but hey, he beat Michael Page, aging well in the UFC right now. Naming Gracie, that was mostly on the feet. I bet him there's a massive underdog. That was a striking fight, not massive, plus 140. Split decision to Yama, so yeah, dog a pass, man. Dog a pass, easy peasy. Let's move on. Jesus Pinedo, Aaron Bordix. This is an interesting one. Pinedo's minus 200, but it's a striking-based fight, so I'm not really interested, honestly. Bordix is a good fighter. Really good fighter. Usually gets grappled. I get that there's some hype on Pinedo, but no thank you. And Jason Jackson versus Andrei Koreshkov. Another high-level fight. I'm loving these fights, man. As long as it's not a typical PFL card where they're all boring as shit. Tell you what, PFL is really good at it, at having really boring fights. Wow, Jason Jackson, minus 145. $1.45, I should say. Let me wiki cap him. Koreshkov, I thought it looked a little bit washed, but then he beat the shit out of Goiti Yamauchi. And he lost to Ramazan Kuramagomedov. Goddamn. So, yeah, some value on Andre. He's not done yet. Lads. Cool. We shall move on. That's a good card. I don't mind it. A little bit break the monotony of low-level UFC fights for a bit. What else we got? Invicta, we got no odds, so I won't talk about it. Look at this guy. London Knowles? What the hell is this? No odds for 1FC. But my boy, Manpreet, has put that shit on MMA Archive. So now we can tape 1FC properly as well. Shout out. All right, Oktagon, one of my better promotions. Let's see what we have. If I recognize these guys, if not, I'll move on quickly. Six Sound, what's up, boy? Borjas Army, you're right. Let's go, Borjas Army, indeed. Uma dragging CNL Gracie decision was a sweat. Correct. Uma KO has a lot of people down. Uma minus 300 is fine. Better grappler, better striker. I don't know, man. I mean, it's a tougher fight than Gracie, like you just said, Stoli. So there's that. Borjas Army, indeed, correct. Nick Rodriguez, it's been a while, my friend. Need some parlay pieces from across all cards this week. Well, keep on following me, mate. I do love me some parlays. It's been a while, but when there's a lot of cards, I love me some parlays. We'll see. Alrighty. Sorry, I just got a text. It's distracting me. Let me see. Cool. Nothing important. Alrighty. Let's see what we got on this Oktagon round. Max Holzer versus Dennis Ilbay. He's a decent sized favorite, right? I'm going to use Bet365 for this. He's a decent sized favorite. He's $1.36, but he's very hittable. And Ilbay is a massive ape with power. I'm not rushing. It's one thing to bet Holzer against bums that they're setting him up with. He's going to have a bit of an issue with Ilbai, at least in round 1. So I'm not feeling it. Without tape, of course. I don't know who this co-main is. Aaron Abbey, the boss. I know him, but I don't know who the hell Mohamed Walid is. Fedor Juric versus Predrag Bogdanovic. 2 Serb lads. 2 Serb prospects. They're doing him dirty by matching him up. Fedor says he's German, but his dad is Serb. Hence why his last name is Duric. They moved to Germany, I don't know when. But what a legend is that, calling him after Fedor. This kid is very good. I'm really curious on these odds. There's not much people that have grappled Fedor. So I wonder what these odds, how we'll handle someone like Bogdanovic. What do we have? Wow, Bogdanovic is a favorite. $1.66. $1.66. Wow. Interesting. Unfortunately, I don't have a Bet365, so I don't know, do I want to focus on this card? But let's move on. That's a sick fight. Karol Rashavi versus Eugene Blackdale. I mean, he should be a favorite, but, Rashavi's a bit of a wash kickboxer. Polakaj versus Marko Novak. This is a good fight. This should be around pick'em. Wow. Polakaj minus 200. Don't know about that one. Marko is solid. I think he won the last fight too. Correct. Versus Kohela, the Finland guy. That's not bad. All right. And Polakaj just beat Rashavi. I didn't watch that fight. I need to watch it. Minus 200. That's a bit wild, man. That's a bit wild. Dogger pass for sure. Lucy Pudilova, the GOAT. Brittany Cloudy. I know Brittany Cloudy from tape. I've never bet her in my life. Let's see what she's been up to. It should be Veronika Smolkova, who is the mainstay in Oktagon right now, but some shitty record she's got. Let's see. Lucy probably slight favorite. Wow, $1.44, Lucy. Forget it. Not touching that. Horrible women's fight. Machev versus Sonmez. This is a good fight. Wow, great fights. Great fights this week. Machev. Don't even have that on Bet365. Let's see on this. Oktagon. Oktagon 69, lads. This is Oktagon 69. If I don't smash this card, I must retire. Wow, what a sign. There was a solar eclipse this month and also a lunar eclipse. And they say that doesn't happen often. If there's a sign, you got to take advantage of it. Oktagon 69, that is the sign, lads. We're getting rich. Alrighty, what are the odds on this? We're getting rich. Don't even have any odds. Sick. Great fight, though. I would say Machev should be a slight favorite because Sonmez is a bit one-dimensional. Montagnac versus, I don't know who the guy is. Kali Taha making his long-awaited debut. It's probably a favorite because of the whole UFC tax. $1.57. Makes sense. And what else? Mohamed Grabinski. I don't know who he's fighting. Grabinski's a bit overrated, but he's fighting Karol. I don't know who the guy is, so we'll move on. He's probably a decent-sized favorite. Grabinski, well, not really. $1.74. Interesting. Close line fight. And then Hosek. Hosek is a massive bum, right? But they've given him this Alexander Stefanovic, probably Serbian background as well, 5-6. Let's see, does he have any power? If he has any power, well, this photo doesn't inspire any confidence, I'll be honest. Mother's milk choke. Holy shit. This is the Chad special, the mother's milk. Wow. Wow, who the hell knows? Alrighty, let's get back to this. That's it for regionals. We've got a good boxing card. Joyce, Hergovic. I love me some heavyweights. I'm a boxing casual, but I do quite well. So I will save some time. We'll talk about that. But alrighty, before we get into the UFC, let's address these beautiful comments. 6 Hound. Diane Barbosa is a lock. Here we go. Got as one of the part. Ilbai grappling is not amazing. No, it's not amazing, but I'm sure it's improving. Gabriel Braga, Kabalaev. Yes, well, Nick, I will say Kabalaev for sure, parlay piece. He ain't losing to that bum. That could be a smash spot. Yes, it's chalky, but whatever. And the rest I will tell you from the UFC. Should win versus Suzuki. I mean, that's a pick and fight. Why don't you post this at a decent hour for your American audience? Is this not a decent hour, Subhuman? Aren't you from America? And you're in here? And there's 22 live viewers, so tell me what... I don't even know what time it is in America. You tell me, my friend. Alrighty, let's get it. UFC, this is why we're here. Loma Lukmukbi, Estela Nunes. Massive favorite on Loma. I've played Nunes. She's a really high level... Not now. I've played her versus Elise Reed. And I thought it was very unlucky for her not to win 29-28. Not Elise Reed. What am I talking about? That bum, Sam Hughes, always wins split decisions. And very good fighter. Very good striker. And if anything, man, it's a clear dogger pass here. It's a clear dogger pass. She's taller. She's longer. Loma might actually have some grappling upside. You know, she's out there submitting girls now. Elise Reed. She's beating Denise Gomez, Bruno Brazil. All right, yeah. Loma's pretty good. Yeah, she's leveling up quite a bit. Estela Nunes, you know, on a 4-fight losing streak. Goddamn. Getting submitted too. Loma submission, possibly. Back to the well, eh? What's and Estella's a gasser too. What we don't have totals on this, right? It's alright, it is what it is. Can't have it all. No, let's move on. Vanessa Demopoulos, Talita Alencar. Alencar was a slight underdog, and I kind of liked it, right? High-level grappler. She isn't going to get submitted by Vanessa Demopoulos. She's aggressive. She was going to go for takedowns. Vanessa usually attacks from the guard, and if she can't submit you, she just ends up stuck on bottom. Now it's closer to pick'em. Is there any value? Maybe there's still value in pick'em. Maybe Talita Alencar should be your favorite, right? She's very green in MMA, right? She's got that base. She's very explosive. Not very explosive, but she's not bad. She's a little pocket rocket. And, you know, the more she's fighting, she's going to be better and better, even though she's 34. Like, just very new to MMA. So maybe there's some value. Vanessa Demopoulos, you know, I'm not really impressed with anything. She's, you know, beat Ducote on the feet and Murata with some weird strikes off the bottom. Split decision. Who knows? Pick and fight. Let's move on. Nick says Loma ain't all that. Nick Rodriguez. This is after in Australia. Correct. Helalaua. What's up with huge moneyline movers going down every week? Well, my friend, I think because we went to Mexico and London, and there's a crowd, and I think drunk people in the crowd are betting. That happened in Australia as well. So that's the beauty of it. We get really good lines, really good Borjas line, but I don't know who's going to get steamed this week. It's annoying because Loma will win a most minus EV decision, potentially live bet as well. Vanessa doesn't have good takedown defense. I agree, she does not. All right, let's move on. Victor Henry versus Pedro Falcao. I don't think Pedro Falcao is that bad, honestly. He made his short notice debut versus that other fraudy Brazilian. Let me have a look at him. Victor Hugo. But yeah, taping his fights, I don't think he's that bad at all. I think he's like a really top-heavy grappler. He's got explosive doubles, and I like his top control. I like his rear naked choke, his ground and pound. I think I bet him years ago on Contender Series. That's right, 2021. And he wanted to be a ground and pound, and then he didn't get signed, and here he is. 4 years later, he's back in the UFC. I don't think he's that bad, but, you know, fair enough. Victor Henry, you know, he's a really good veteran. You're not going to beat him if you're a bum, so I get why he's the favorite. Let me see what odds he's actually at. Close to minus 200, right? Well, minus 200. I don't know, man. Victor Henry, 37 years of age, submitted for the first time, and by Charles Jourdain, of all people. So I think this man is slowing down a bit, right? He was a great bet against Tony Gravely. I live bet him. Unfortunately, that still went to split. He kind of slowed down. Lost to Rafael Assunção. Now you look at his wins now in a different lens, and they're all retiring guys, washed guys. You know, Haoni, Assunção, Tony Gravely, Roni Yaya. Dogger pass. Dogger pass. Ain't no way I'm touching Victor at minus 200. Alrighty, here we go. The first bet. It's been a while since I had bets on my early teas, right? Hopefully these times are coming back. Hopefully there will be spots on cards that are easy to get reads, and I can lock things in early in the week and then think about it later. But I have Daniel Afrunza, 1.5 units, $750, $1.63. A little bit of money has come in Reese McKee, and it's improved. I just thought this is probably the best we're going to get. Basically, Franza is not the best fighter. He's a little bit green, and, you know, he usually gives his back up. He's not the best grappler. He's a little bit hittable too, but ultimately, 9-2. He's not new in his career, relatively new. His first fight was in 2016, but he's having a glow up. All right, last few years since he lost to bloody Gary Bellato Jr. via rear naked choke, he's getting better and better opponents. Jalen Turner, Haris Talanzic, Vladimir Kutsi, and he's just beating them all. He's knocking them all out. So he's improving. All right, he's 30 years of age. He's in his prime. He seems very durable. Kutsi landed a brutal uppercut. Right, this Kutsi guy has so many round one knockouts. A brutal uppercut. He recovered, got up, and knocked him out in return. I just basically think the hardware advantage is on his side. Rhys McKee, massive cage warriors bum, no defense. Ange Lusa rinsed them. Chitty, that was kind of a split, but I think Chitty's looked better and better at welterweight ever since. The shit bit out of him by Alex Morono. Obviously, Hamzat doesn't mean much. And then you look at his wins, Alex Mankiwi, whatever. I don't care about any of his cage warriors wins. He kind of exists. 5 rounders are great for him. And even Justin Burlinson almost knocked him out. And then he kind of existed, came back, and took him out later in the rounds. So, yeah, just a wet noodle, hittable, weak, bad wrestling. Like, is he going to grapple Daniel Franza here? Maybe, but whatever. I'll decide if it's a square play later on in the week. But Franza, 1.5 units for me, and maybe even the KO poke. We'll see what the totals are. Six Hound. LMAO, McKee, and Franza are bums. I mean, sure they are, but Franza probably kills them. Diana Barbosa, $1.20. No way. She's a gassy. Like, I played her against Anesta Karatskite, but I'm not a fan of Karatskite either. I think she's similar to Diana Blabita. Tall girls that just come forward and spam volume. Basically, just probably Belbita Barbosa sub, if anything. All right. This chick's out here getting submitted by Molly McCann, for goodness sakes. So, yeah. Barbosa sub or nothing. All right. Davy Grant, Daniel Santos. Interesting. My boy Davy is a decent-sized underdog again. I get the Daniel Santos has some hype, but just remember, this guy was dropped 2-3 times by Sexy Mexi, Castaneda, and then he came back and knocked him out. Right? I was on him there. I was on him live bet as well, just because Castaneda at -200 or whatever he was, not really the best play. So, yes, maybe he can kill Davy Grant, but Davy Grant, man, people were fading him with Tavares, coming off the injury, the surgeries, and he just rinsed Tavares. That was a 30-27, I think. He got dropped once, but other than that, his volume is great when he's composed, when he focuses on his defense. Can he stick a move against Daniel Santos, Wiley Cat? Who knows, man? It's just so volatile with Davy Grant because his hands are always low. He's always swinging. He comes into the pocket and crashes with left, right while his chin's on the platter. So, and he was about to lose to Rafael Assunção, but Assunção were very good at shutting down. Santos is chaos. So, yeah, dog or pass, but with the volatility, I'm gonna have to decide myself, do I want to play it with that volatility? The under could potentially be good. Davey hasn't killed anyone in a while in under 1.5. Right, Smolka, last 4, 5, 6. Maybe this is the one. Maybe he gets killed by Daniel Santos. We'll see. 6 Hound, hard to cap Davy Grant. I don't know. I think it's pretty straightforward, man. Like, I went in depth to see why people are playing Tavares, and I left thinking he's a very good fighter. Volume, power, fights for your money. And yeah, sometimes he might get cracked. So you just have to steer into volatility with him. Alrighty. Louis Garul versus Oda Osborne. Just taped this goat, Oda Osborne, for the Lazy Boy fight. Unfortunate. He, if that's not in UFC Noche, Oda gets around 1K over Lazy Boy, but it's all right. We got Lazy Boy. We got him good. The fade was there. Yeah, poor guy. They're kind of giving him good fights. Arsu, then Jafel Fila. Louis, -200. I bet him on Contender Series. He's a good fighter. He fights often. He always fights on short notice. He's got some holes that he needs to patch up. He's very hittable. But other than that, he's very trustworthy. So -200. I know a friend that played him already. I don't know, man. I always give Ode, no matter how much of a bum he is, I always give Ode a slim chance against anyone in the first round and a half, right? So I just need to tape. I'm not rushing this one. Need to tape. Need to reevaluate just how hittable and what are the chances that Luis gets killed. But other than that, he should run away with this. He's got body work and good wrestling, and he's a lot more of a dog than Ode, so he should break him down the stretch, if not in the first round. So we'll suss that out when the time comes. Robert Valentin Torres Finney. Well, this is a great fight. This is, I mean, Finney's a worse than minus 200 favorite. I get it because he's going to go for takedowns. He's an absolute blanket, a physical blanket built like DC on all the supplements. And Valentin, we've just seen him lose his debut in UFC because he couldn't stop a takedown from a wrestler. He got absolutely rinsed on the ground. And, almost got his arm jacked with a crucifix armbar, and then he got ground and pounded in round 2. But he's very dangerous. Very dangerous. So for that reason alone, I would not really want to fade him. He can crack. Torres Finney also gasses as well. And not the most dangerous guy on top. Yeah, he finished this Abdal El Rami. A lot of us were on the under there, but El Rami, just a basic kickboxer with no ground game. So he's got some finishes, but this Yuri guy as well was after Yuri almost beat the shit out of him, and then he got rear naked choked and gassed. So the under could be sneaky. All right, but no, I'm not playing Finney at $1.44. Another Dana White Contender Series debutant. We'll see. Maybe round 1. Valentin. I need to evaluate Finney's chin. I know he's been hurt multiple times. 6 sound. Ode live plus Garul pre. Oh, that makes no sense. Do you mean Garul pre Ode live? Because Ode is going to slow down. And Ode has round 1k upside. Lucky bet. It's 10. No problem. I don't understand, my friend. 10 what? 10 what? Alrighty. Let's move on. Gerald Meerschaert, Brad Tavares. Now, I'm not a Gerald Meerschaert truther. All right, I've been trying to fade this guy. It's so hard to watch his tape, how hittable he is, how bad his chin is, how slow he is to reacting to punches, and not want to fade him with every single fighter. But he's been getting away with it. I've been betting on UFC since his debut, since he started getting easy guillotines and arm bars from guard against bums. Fading and betting a long, long time. And yeah, it's a dog or pass. I get why Brad Tavares is the favorite because, right, elite takedown defense, quote unquote, and he should be able to stop Gerald Meerschaert and outstrike him on the feet. But I've seen this fight for Gerald Meerschaert before, right? I bet Eric Anders against him. I thought Eric Anders was going to knock him out, stuff all his takedowns, a lot more powerful, a lot more physical. That ended up being a split decision. He actually hurt Anders with a body kick to the body. He hurt Darren Wynn before submitting him. He's got really good body kick, and he's got underrated power. And, I mean, drop Bruno Silva, right? Drop Mahmoud Muradov. Not a bad fighter at all. And that Rania Derrida fight, edging well. Took him to round 3, back and forth. He made him really comfortable on the feet. So, not saying he's going to hurt or knock out Brad Tavares, but Brad Tavares, man, he's just 37 years of age. He's looking more and more washed. He lost a split to Park, but Park was dominating him for periods of time. And Park is also kind of like, he's a good fighter, but he never really separates. These are like, all these guys are on the same level to me. So if anyone is like a massive underdog, you just play him. All right, they don't really stand out. Park, if you give him bums, non-UFC guys, he'll run through them. Otherwise, he'll have a tough fight. So yeah, dog or pass. Sucks. A couple of days ago, GM3 was $3.20 plus $2.20, and now a little bit of money has come in, but yeah, it's a shame. I mean, I get it. I mean, I'll take that last Brad Tavares fight versus Old Mate, and we'll go from there. I mean, just watch this fight with Chris Weidman. That's all you need to see. 6 sound. Brad KO donations will be made. I agree. It's going to be so hard to tape and not want to donate on Brad KO. Right, but Gerard has great recovery. That's the thing. He has great recovery, and Brad, will hurt you, but not the best finisher. That's me being generous too. Kennedy and Truku, Martin Budai. Someone wanted me to break down this fight, so here you are. This is why you're listening to the show, and just to piss you off, I'm going to skip it. Cortavius Ramius. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I mean, might as well. What the hell is this? Budai $1.50. $1.40. What are we going to make of that fight? Actually, I can't even. Where the hell are the odds? Hello. Yeah. Oh, Kennedy, $1.40. Well, all I'm going to say is Kennedy looks good at heavyweight. You know, that first fight against Fat Man Chris Barnett, 240 something pounds and not fat, unlike Ryan Spann, who moved up as well and looked awful. Just this man was cutting a lot of weight. So I think heavyweight is a good division for him. Maybe, I don't know how much he weighed in the last one. Let me have a look. Just out of curiosity's sake. How much did he weigh for Bresky fight? I bet him by KO there. But this is not Lucas Bresky. This is not Huggy Bear. Right, Budai has wins in the UFC. He weighed 234. He actually... No, wait, that's Bresky. My bad. He weighed 236. Wow, he lost some weight from the Chris Barnett fight. Probably didn't take Barnett seriously. So 236 is not the heaviest, but he looks good. Right, so Budai's pushing 260. Right, look at his physique. And say what you will, he's not fat, man. He's just built like a barrel. He doesn't have an overspilling gut. He's got a huge chest, big hips, childbearing hips. So this guy's pushing 260, 265, coming off the Andrei Arlovski win. I completely forgot about that fight. And maybe he can bring out the flakiness out of Kennedy. But Kennedy $1.40 against the warm body. Come on, lads. Have you not been betting on UFC long enough? He lost to OSP. One fight before his retirement. He got knocked out by just Dustin Jacoby in under 2 minutes. I bet Jacoby there. I regret not betting the KO, but I didn't want to get greedy. There's a certain level of fighters Kennedy can cover against. Budai, not so sure. Budai is going to be clinching. This could be a dreadful, dreadful fight. That's all I'm going to say. This could be disgusting. So let's move on. Kotavius Aramius versus Chung Ho Lee. Holy shit. Is almost minus 200. A little bit of money coming on Romius. I'm not too sure. What to feel about this fight. I remember Romius. He fought the Bolanos, Gaston. Decent fight. I think they almost both killed each other multiple times. His fights are extreme volatility. Kotavius. He's got a good armbar. He's got extreme power. I don't think he's built for decisions, honestly. He's a bit gassy, a bit flaky. Doesn't really compose himself. So, but this Chung Ho Lee, right? He barely beat Long Zhao in the UFC debut that was meant to be the rematch that was meant to be the winner of Road FC. He barely beat him. I think he got dropped there as well. So he takes a bit to get going. He's kind of keeps on going, Terminator, and gets his grappling going in rounds 2 and 3. And he's a bit hittable too. So I get why he's the favorite. He probably breaks Kotavius down the stretch. But could Kotavius armbar him? Could he knock him out? Maybe. He is very hittable. I'm definitely not feeling minus 200 on this random Korean bum, honestly. That's my first thought. I mean, this is very high up the card, and it's a really big bum fight. Why not put Davey Grant and Daniel Santos on the main card? It just makes no sense. Two guys that are actually it's gonna be a barn burner. Alrighty. Anderson Brito, Pat Sabatini. A little bit of money is coming in on Sabatini. Now, Anderson Brito is minus 200. Now, I've been trying to fade Sabatini for a long, long time. I finally got my fade with Jackson, the Leech, Damien Jackson of all people. So the guy is quite chinny. I think that's proven. We've seen him get run through by old mate Diego Lopez as well. There's nothing new. I tried to fade him with Lucas Almeida. That looked awful. But he was very careful not to get hit. So Anderson Brito is very, very live to kill this man. Let's be honest. A guy with no chin versus a guy that hits like Anderson. Very live to kill this man. Although Anderson has lost grappling fights before. He gets taken down with ease. He's a bit of an idiot. He will jump guillotine. Highly doubt he guillotines Pat Sabatini, let's be honest. And it's going to give him the game that he wants. I don't know what to make of this. If I'm playing Anderson Brito, I'm just playing KO. He probably wasn't going to knock out Jack Shaw because he loves to grapple. He was doing that against William Gomez. So there's that issue too. Like, he loves to grapple. Will he... You lay the chalk on Anderson Brito and he's just constantly grappling. Which I reckon Pat Sabatini just reverses that and gets a takedown. And then he mauls on top. Interesting, very interesting fight. Sab looked really good against Jonathan Pierce, that was a great underdog play. And the submission was even better. Yeah. If you're going to play Yu Anderson, I reckon Yu Anderson KO, Pat sub. I reckon after some top time, Yu Anderson get up and can start rounds 2 or round 3 and still knock out Sabatini. So, volatile fight. Interesting. Excited to tape it. What do we got? Why is Contravious bum-ass main card? I agree. Everyone bets Sabatini and then Brito just one punches him. Correct. Which goes well with the under, hopefully. Ramp Dog. If you could trust Willy Cat not to pull out, then you could put that fight on main card. I guess. Don't know if UFC is even thinking about that. We'll see. And here we are, the main event. Not a bad main event at all. Number 8 versus number 10th UFC fighter. Josh Emmett versus Lerone Murphy. And it's going to be a barn burner, right? Josh Emmett, kind of thought he was a little bit washed. Everyone was like putting it past him that he's done. Took that massive beating against Topuria, which is not aging badly, right? We have goats like Max Holloway and Volkanovski getting put out to pasture. And Josh Emmett is still swinging in round 5. I bet him against Calvin Qatar in a 5-rounder. I bet him a little bit, just the tiniest bit against Bryce Mitchell. I regret not going bigger. That was a massive oversight. And he's not washed. For 40 years of age, he's still maintaining that insane physicality that he has. And Lerone Murphy, this guy's a winner. Whether he's robbing Santos, whether he's getting mauled by Mirkani, then landing a knee in the second round, having a really close fight or getting almost knocked out by Edson Barboza up kicks, or winning against Dan Ige in the last 30 seconds of round 3, right? He's just a winner. This guy knows how to win, right? Still undefeated and slowly taking step ups in competition. I get why he's a massive favorite. It's probably because of the 5-round aspect and the fact that he's 33 and not 40. But man, this is a clear dog or pass, right? This is a clear dog or pass. As I said, Lerone gets hurt in every fight. Barbosa, Dan Ige, Gabriel Santos. I think Zubaira cracked him in round 1. He's got an insane chin, I'll give him that. But they have a mutual opponent. Josh Emmett has also fought Dan Ige, and he beat him. More convincingly. Although it was a few years ago. So, no need to overthink it. Right, it's $3 something. Come on. $3 something. We've seen Josh can go 5 rounds. The only issue is Murphy's probably going to mix it up better. He's going to kick, while Josh mostly just throws overhands, telegraphed ones at that. So, but I mean, you just play the number. You play the number and hope for the best. 6 round. If Emmett is not washed, this line might look silly. I mean, I don't think he's washed. Why would he be washed? He does have a lot of injuries, but he just come back and knocked out 16-1 Bryce Mitchell. Gave him a seizure. Right. And I do love Lerone Murphy, but it's another step up. And if he wins a minus EV, so be it. Good on him. Alrighty, let's get over do a little recap and get out of here. All right, Loma, Nunes, dog or pass. What are you going to do here? Loma under. Vanessa Demopoulos, pick and fight. No, thank you. Victor Henry, no, thank you. I got a unit and a half on Frunza. Hopefully it's a KO. Barbosa sub, the obvious one. Grant, dog or pass. Garul, it's really hard to back Ode. Robert Valentine, I'm not playing Torres Finney at $1.44. Forget it. Jeremy Shot or pass. Jeremy Shot or pass. Budai or pass. Wow, these fights are some wild fights here. This is like the Dana White Contender Series card. Romeo Lee, Pat Sabatini, Brito probably kills him, and Emmett is the other one I'm close on. That's about it. We'll look at some Oktagon, some interesting Oktagon and some interesting PFL. So Oktagon 69. I have to lock in, lads. I have to lock in. Anyway, peace out. Like and subscribe. Thank you.